I ask you a question? Are you ready to get and keep momentum in your business? I hope so, because it's Penny Elliott here, your host, to having the perfect mix of the woo with the do. If you're ready to create the life that you want through a business designed by you, then tune in. Hello and welcome back to the Get Momentum for Online Entrepreneurs with me, your host, Penny Elliott. This is the show where we match the woo with the do. So that's your perfect mix of mindset and strategy to have fast success in your online business so you can finally live the life you thought you would when you started your business. And as we're kicking the podcast off, we are talking about the Hit Refresh on 2020 Summit. And today I have the amazing Jamie with me. He's going to introduce himself formally, but I met this man probably before he knew that I met him because Katia, his wonderful partner in all aspects of life, was in Australia. I met her at ClickFunnels or Funnel Hacking Live, and she bowled on up to me with like blonder hair than I had and longer hair and was like, "Hey girl," and we had a chat, and then we kind of made friends after that. And she came out to Australia, and I kept saying to her, "Come to New Zealand, come to New Zealand, come to New Zealand. Australia's not where it's at, it's New Zealand." And then all of a sudden she was like, "I've met this guy." And I was like, "Who is he?" And you stole her. She never came to New Zealand. She went over to, was it America, to see you? Because one of your family members had passed away or something. So I totally blame it all on you, and you have to bring her back in the future to New Zealand.
Yeah, she came to Toronto, and then we dipped off to the United States for like a month, and then we vanished to Europe, and the chance of New Zealand just slowly drifted away. But, you know, I wanted to, we almost went to Australia instead of Malta, which is where we are now. And if that was the case, we would have been able to, you know, fly on over potentially, depending on timing, and we could have visited. But I still think we can do it.
Yeah.
I still think we can do it.
So anyway, welcome, even though like you stole my friend. You've made her very, very happy, and you guys are making an amazing like power couple all over the internet. So welcome to the podcast, and I'm sure you've got a much more formal introduction of what you do and the impact that you leave on the world. So go for it.
Yeah, so first name Jamie, last name Noodleman. Been doing this whole entrepreneur thing since 2015. Been in the personal training space, online health coaching space, you know, anything health related. But I shifted towards doing more of the back-end web and dev, and then switching to more video content creation, virality concepts, everything like that, making videos pop, figuring it all out. And then I literally in 2019 started niching down to video. And funny enough, my other half, Katia, who you've been chatting about, she's all into video marketing, into sales, all the front end things. She's so talented at it. So for me, I'm all back end tech. And so we've come together and we've meshed, and now I'm helping her out with her business. And now we've launched our new product, the viral content templates, which is our new business that we're building up. So there's a lot coming with that. So that's what I'm doing today. But just some side notes. I'm from Toronto, from Canada, and I love health and just finding ways to, you know, save yourself and take care of your body.
Yeah, so we'll get onto it later about how to follow him, but definitely Instagram stories. Yep. You see a lot of things that are going into smoothies, a lot of red light, a lot of blue glasses, which actually I should have on tonight because it's late here and I shouldn't be, I should have actually had them on. You would have appreciated that. So it's really, really interesting and exciting. So I love following your stories. I always get some little...
Appreciate it.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I go crazy on there sometimes. I have to filter myself. But yeah, that's awesome.
Yes, sometimes
I have no filter.
It is hundreds and thousands all the way along the top. There's so many.
I get on a rant and I'm always like, should I post this? You know what I mean?
Do you know, I never would have thought you were the kind of guy that said, should I post this? I just thought it was...
I overthink. I think like I'm going to offend somebody. I'm all about giving a good experience to people. And sometimes I'm like, well, this is the truth. I have the data. It's like, but they're not going to believe me. So yeah, anyways, it's just, I sit there and I overwhelm myself, and then it's just my nature. And then I just, I do with everything. And then I just I just cancel the 4 or 5, 6 stories I have on record, or I just do it and walk away and say, I'm done. It's going. And I come back later.
Put the phone down.
Exactly.
Instead of mic drop, it's phone drop. I'm off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that dovetails really that dovetails really nicely into the first question that I've asked everyone. So like with the current environment and as it's evolving, like we've been into lockdown as this was happening, and then now we're all coming out of lockdown. And as you said before we jumped on, that Malta's actually opening its borders more and more over the next month to come. Like, how are you and Katia hitting refresh on 2020 now with what's happened in the world, both in your business and your life? So I guess your health.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. And obviously I can go on a ramble here. So business wise, I mean, so like COVID hit, nothing really changed for us because we've always been online. I mean, if I was still a trainer or if I was doing something more physical brick and mortar, then maybe like that would obviously change things. And then I'd have to go online. But, I feel like when I went into business in 2015, it was all online essentially. So that was like the prep for this kind of a, situation. But for us specifically, nothing really changed. We just focused more on being more productive and not letting news and media get to us and all these updates, because there's so much information out there. And even I got wrapped up in just kind of seeing, whether it's like, I'm a big fan of conspiracy. So I went down that rabbit hole, and then I was looking at media over here, then this area. And then I realized, whoa, I'm getting too distracted. And so then I pulled back and just muted and ignored and got rid of everything and just started doubling down on our business, because February and March, revenue wasn't hitting the numbers and the goals we wanted. Because months prior, we had a successful launch with our new product. And so after that, when April hit, we had everything evolved and everything changed. We got really laser focused on, our marketing, our ads, improving sales pages, conversions, trying new softwares to get people to buy, et cetera. Just all these little tricks that you can do in digital marketing, the internet marketing space. So essentially, we had to evolve, we had to change. And, but obviously as the weather here in Malta gets so nice, I know it gets nice down there for you, Australia as well. They opened the borders and we started going out. Or at least the lockdown, and I started going out more. And so it's very hard to be focused when you want to get out and get sun. But more personally though, it got me to think a lot about the experience I had with health over the years, because I've spent over a decade trying to figure out health issues. Like I lost a lot of my family to cancer and, diabetes experiences and heart disease and stroke. And so I watched my whole family go through this whole series of events of go to the cancer ward, radiation treatment. And, it's normal to me now. I know some folks this can be triggering because it's more common today, but I was like, I got to stop all this. I got to make sure I can figure out health and survive. So on the personal side, I was taking care of everything for Katya and I. So going and doing big shops, because I was following all this stuff before it happened, like December, around New Year's time. I was like, oh, look, China, 100 cases. I'm like, if that came here and spread, that would be a little crazy. And then, look what happens. So basically, started shopping, preparing, just supplying ourselves with some things, not toilet paper. I know we spoke about that before, but just, no one went crazy here. I think Europeans, they get it. So basically we just stocked up, and then I bought a lot of supplements, started researching things, and kept doing my, I guess you can say biohacking activities, like the blue light blocking glasses, the red light, turning up the Wi-Fi, EMF reduction, taking magnesium, just essential things that the body needs. And we've been great. I'll tell you this, we've been great, but it's definitely shook us a bit. Definitely shook us for a little bit.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about turning the Wi-Fi off, because I'm interested in this, because obviously one of the largest conspiracy theories is that Wuhan is the first area that developed 5G. So I'm interested to hear your perspective on the Wi-Fi, because every household, I imagine, now goes to sleep with it on.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I think a lot of people live in condos or apartments. I don't think a lot of people can afford a home at this point, especially where I'm from. I don't know how it is in New Zealand, but Toronto, it's just skyscrapers, condos. Yeah. Over here, we have the largest, tallest building here. It's like 20 stories. That's like your average condo in Toronto. So I'm like, and there's so much EMF. So basically, I learned about 2.5 years ago that there's this whole plan that's coming for smart city grids, and it's online. People can call it conspiracy, but it's there. They put it there because they know people aren't going to believe it. And so we get the whole tinfoil hat syndrome term, which tinfoil doesn't exist anymore. It's aluminum foil, by the way. So just a bit of a catch up. But basically, I turn off Wi-Fi because EMF is, I'm just highly sensitive. I get drained, I get exhausted, I get brain fog, fatigue. That's why I started this whole thing of biohacking and figuring out what the body needs. And turning off the Wi-Fi, the reason is because it's too much positive ion. You have to balance it out with negative ion. And that's, it's like a teeter-totter. It's like homeostasis, balancing act. The body's always doing that. It's like the immune system. And so different products and tools can help you do that. So I turn off the Wi-Fi, give myself 8 to 10 hours of rest without it, and the brain can just chill. Right. And that way you sleep better. I find I can remember my dreams. When I have Wi-Fi on, I can't. And the problem is, I don't know what my neighbor has on. I don't know what router they have. I don't know what settings. So with what's coming with the new Wi-Fi routers, it could be worse. It's just stronger technology. Yeah. In terms of 5G, I won't comment. I just think it's just new tech. And, I think humans are just naturally wanting to explore new options and just test the waters. I mean, it happens everywhere. So it's just a way of combating heavier EMF and learning how to just turn off what's coming directly at us. And then the last thing I'll say is that I actually, as to why I turn it off, is because EMF drains like minerals, like it drains your magnesium, and it causes the cell to open, like the calcium channel gate, and you get more calcium overload. And because water, like spring water, tap water, everything is just so filled with acidosis from all this from calcium buildup and everything, your body becomes, you get calcification. And that's why you have joint pain. That's why you have osteoporosis. That's why you're sore. And that's why when people take vitamin D3 and stuff, like supplement form versus the sun, you're stacking more calcium. And with the Wi-Fi on everywhere, you're just done. So magnesium is the way to counteract that, I find. If I'm in front of the router watching a movie with Katya, I dose magnesium. Personal belief, but it's seen in science.
It's interesting because magnesium at night always, like as an athlete, we've been told, I've been told time and time again to take calcium, magnesium and zinc at night because it helps with your sleep. But that will be counterbalancing all of the EMF that you're exposed to throughout the day as well.
Yeah, potentially the magnesium can counterbalance it. And since everything has so much like calcium in it already, depending on where you get it from, you may not even need calcium, but it can range. That's why I always tell people to do like hair analysis testing to really figure out deficiencies. It's pretty cool stuff. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's a lot I threw at you. I could talk about this forever.
Yeah, I find it fascinating. Before coming into the online space, I had the opportunity to do a master's of health nutrition and functional medicine from Portland, Oregon. So I was accepted into that course. Two of my girlfriends and I, and one of them's finished it, one of them's halfway through, and I went into the online space to be a sales and business coach instead. So I do have a real passion for a lot of the interesting, I guess, are they called biohacks, or the way that the body interacts, I think, with a much more modern environment. We just can't keep up the way that our body evolves with the technology evolution. So I find it very fascinating.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
Yeah, so if we were going to go, I mean, you said that you stocked up a lot for you and Katya, and I saw a lot of that on your Instagram stories, and she was doing an Instagram story outside the supermarket while you were in there, doing stuff. Yeah, she had her like fancy mask on and stuff. You guys were like real Vogue mask wearers. But if you could go back to the day before lockdown happened, knowing what you know now, what would you have bought or changed in your business and life?
Question's hard. Definitely not toilet paper.
Yeah.
I would not. I just think everyone should have some at some point, right? You should always get a Costco size supply. You go there once a year. You buy your like essential kitchen stuff, like your detergent, all that stuff. I mean, knowing what I know now, is it just one thing, or can I just like name like a few things?
You can name a few things. Go on.
There's one thing I'm indecisive for the next 20 minutes. I mean, I would have personally. So now that I know that there's certain like products and herbs and supplements that can actually kill COVID, and that's a wild statement, by the way. Like I get it. There's a lot of information out there, and a lot is misleading. Like I learned a lot about supplementation and like the right products and what happens to the body during this whole thing. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I would have stocked the heck up with Shilajit, vitamin E, and oregano oil from American Herb Spice. I would have stocked up on that because that stuff just stops it. And by that, I mean your immune system is strong enough to actually kill anything. And that's what we need to live. So that would have been my number one list of things, other than food, obviously. Like I could say 100 things right now I would have stocked up on, right? Yeah.
Right. Okay, brilliant. We might list those in the show notes below as well, so that you guys can go and stock up on those, because you're not the first person who has suggested that I stock up on that throughout this process. I think I might have heard that maybe 5 times now. So maybe I should listen to the universe knocking on my door and go and get those. So I guess the one thing, like you guys, as you said, like, and I loved how you introduced yourself, and that's why I get all the guests to introduce themselves so that it comes to life. You've really moved and evolved through your online business world. So many people are like really scared to start a business because they think they have to stay at that forever. And as you've gone on, you've really evolved and, you know, gone from like the health and fitness right through to creating videos, and now you're like the back end platform, you know, king, along with Katia, who is like your front end queen, and you guys are creating something that is taking the internet by storm. The viral content templates, which are just so good to use. I love them. They're fantastic. Like they literally save my life every single day. So, but on that journey, and I know this because I know kind of some of the behind the scenes stuff as well, I guess, where has there been a point where you've gone, oh my goodness, Jamie, I've just got to like, I really have to call myself on this. And where you've had to sit yourself down and go, sort yourself out, pull yourself out of this hole. How can I get this back on track?
That, especially in this type of space in general, like entrepreneurship, like it's not easy. Mm-hmm. When I went into it, I was just looking for a way to work from home. I was trying to be different actually. And then I enjoyed the remote lifestyle later on. But I just found that, because for me, it was all about trying to separate myself from the rest. And I'm always like trying to be one step ahead or be the cool guy who has like the glasses, or, you know, because then people are like, what's that guy doing? So, and that way, like I get people coming to me, but I think it's not easy being an entrepreneur because there's like the ebb and flow. Like, and I think we've been primed to think, especially with social media, that everything has to be like amazing, and everything has to be like shiny, and you have to always be making money, and you always have to be like in fancy cars and like mansions, and everyone talks about that. But I think it's not about that. I think life is real. That's how you have to come from it. Like you have to take a dose of reality with it, where, you know, sometimes you're gonna have a bad week. Sometimes you're gonna have a bad couple days. Like I have bad days all the time, and I have to crawl out of it. Good example was in, I'd say November last year, when we were like traveling through Europe. Still, we were in Bulgaria. I was having a hard month. You know, I had some clients. We haven't at that point started the viral content templates, and then when December rolled in, I needed to make more money, and I needed more clients. And because I'm doing like, you know, just I take on a couple projects here and there, and nothing's automated, there's no passive income streams for me personally. Mm-hmm. I was like, I got to figure something out. And when there's not enough security, you're gonna be freaking out. Yeah. And for me, because we're traveling, it's like, hey, we were deciding on what we were gonna do, and now we've been settled here in this spot, this lovely like area for, I think we're coming into month 7, and everything is completely flipped back to normal, and like life is amazing, by the way. But you know, in December, when we first came to Malta, or the second time we came to Malta, I was just like, I gotta make more money. I have to bring more cash flow in. And I'm not going to tell the world I'm not making money. I mean, Facebook's like that too. No one's ever going to really rarely talk about like how they're struggling. They want to show off, like, I made a sale, I have this testimonial. So for me, I was like, I got to set some goals. So I got really laser focused on like setting up lead lists, conversations, and this is why it was so hard, because I talked to Katz about it, and like she has her membership in her business and one-on-one clients. She's doing her thing. That's cool. I knew I was in a rough spot because it took me a long time to be comfortable with messaging video. And that's when I told her, like, I want to start doing like 15K months and just sell some big projects. She's like, why don't you do 45,000 for the first quarter? And I'm like, that's smart. And then I thought, if I have to generate that in 3 months, I don't know if I can do that. And so what happened was at the end of December, she came up with the viral content templates, and then I went with it. And then what ended up happening was we generated more than $45,000 essentially. And I was like, it's like the second week of January. And now we're like 6 months. We're 6 months into this basically, and we're at about we're over $100,000 generated. I'm thinking, I should have set some higher goals on this one. I should have, you know what I mean? Because I'm the worst at like that stuff, but coming back around to it, being consistent, because I'm just so focused now. But it's hard when you get down, because this happens every year in June this time, and then in November, sort of December-ish, I get really into these low periods where like I'm doubting myself, I'm overthinking, and I think everyone has their months, and it's consistent, right? Some say
mine's
August
October.
is the worst month. Yeah, I think Katya's is September and May. Maybe June, depends. It's like a couple different months. And it's crazy. Like we just, as much as we try to work and do things, we just can't output. Something goes wrong. But then there's other months where like we try to do a launch in September, and that's a bad month for Katya. She tried so hard, and it was like difficult. And it was so challenging, and it just the results were great, but not great. And so we came back around, and now we just did another launch, and it's been amazing.
Yeah.
And we're like, it came from just one post idea, and there's like 20 plus people who want to just buy in instantly, versus before it was such a drag to get people to buy in, like 20 people to buy in. And then you feel like you're having adrenal fatigue. You're just on the floor. It's like after doing like a marathon, right? It's just, so I think the energy output can be very different for different months, for different people. And going back to the question, because it's hard, it's a hard question to answer for me specifically. I think like it's normal. It's normal to be in that place, and you have to deal with it. And whether that's alone, talking to somebody, a friend, family member, your partner, therapist, doing some hypnotherapy, whatever you got to do, because it's real.
Yeah.
And that's what people buy. They buy real human connection. So.
100%. And like, I love how you said that it's an ebb and flow, because too many times people come to me being, a sales coach. They're like, I haven't got any sales. Can you work with me for free? I'll tell you right now, no. The answer is no. Come and see me before you get to the point where you've got no sales and no money. And then they see some good wins, and then they expect it to build and build and build and build and build. And all of my years working for, big companies like Lindt Chocolate, Energizer batteries, Bluebird chips, all the big brands, never, ever, ever do they expect month on month on month on month on month growth since they started their business. Like, that just doesn't happen. And they go through ebbs and flows throughout the year, and they call it seasonalities, right? Like, so it's normal for people to eat more chocolate around Easter and eat more chocolate around Christmas. So of course you're going to make more sales around that time, right? So those are like the big months, and the small months are like the really hot months, because no one really feels like chocolate and it melts before it goes home. That's totally acceptable in a product-based world. But I totally agree with you, Jamie. On an online world, people just expect it to go every month, right? And you're so right. Some months are just terrible. And you might as well just, know that. And I think go into like creation mode that month and make more the months before and afterwards. So I love how Katya was like, well, let's just do, 45K in a quarter.
And that was like, she said that for me personally, like, because I've never done that before. Like I've done like 10K months, but it's not, I couldn't maintain it, because like the work was just like me doing the work. I wasn't outsourcing. So now we do that. We're looking to outsource, but it was like, she said, Jamie, make 45K the first 3 months. I'm like, I don't know if I don't know if I can do that. And it felt tough. I'm like, where's this money going to come from?
Wasn't it like January 6th, you made 50,000?
Maybe. I don't remember. There's something like that. We did a really good pre-sale launch, and then all these affiliates came in. Yeah. And they just helped us with the promotion as well. And it just became this huge thing. And like, I'll tell you, in the moments of that, you can't really think. You have to, it sounds bad. You have to think while moving. Yeah. And I think what you said, going back to about these bigger companies, where like they're not playing it like every month we have to keep going up. I'm learning that it's like that with business, where, you know, certain months are good and as again, as I said, some are bad, but it's why are they good and bad? And then what are you currently marketing? How can you adjust it? And what type of promo? Like, we try to sample pack, for instance, with our product. Our product is templates, right? Like 100 templates, but we try to sample pack of like 8. We found that sales went down because folks just wanted to try it instead, and then they just forget about it. So we just turned it off, and sales came back. We thought that'd be cool to like get more sales, but it didn't work as well. Got more leads, but how many of them convert? So I think entrepreneurs going into the business world, there's a lot to look at and learn from, even like corporations, like big companies. They've gone through this already. They just have the systems and solutions ready to teach you as you join their team or their big, corporation group.
And do you know what else? They just don't care. So like we brought out this like little green frog that was the same size and shape as the little gold bunny. And they're like, yeah, frogs is the latest thing. Everyone loves frogs. Frogs are great. They work really well in France. They're going to work really well in the UK. Brought them out, big launch, all this stuff behind it. No one wanted a green frog. Everyone wants the gold bunny. But no one sat around and sort of cried about it and thought, oh, no, this didn't work. I'm a failure, you know, all that sort of stuff that lots of entrepreneurs get. Oh, I'm going to quit my business. Everyone's like, oh, well, no green frogs next year. Back to the gold bunnies, you know, and just carry on. So I think the emotional attachment when it's not your own baby and something that you haven't put your effort into is a lot less. So helps you move on a bit quicker.
Yeah, I totally feel you there.
Yeah. So, but I tell you what, one of the things that I want the listeners to hear is that the viral content templates, and why I always try and say viral templates content anyway, is some of the ones are so good. They're so easy. You just like put them all into Canva, you buy them, put them all into Canva, watch all the training. And so you don't have to email them with like silly questions. Watch the training first, make a copy, put them in Canva, and then you can change them and tweak them to however suits your audience. They work for every single audience. I don't think there's one audience that wouldn't work. And the ones that I found that have worked the best are the ones where you are true and authentic, like you said right at the end of answering that last question. And the ones that say, oh, that aren't just all about, you know, the shiny objects that I've bought and the latest Louis Vuitton handbag and the, you know, Jimmy Choo shoes and all this sort of jazz. It's the ones that my most popular saved viral, I guess, a template is the one that I've said, the non 5 a.m. routine, where like it kind of gives people permission to not have to get up at 5 a.m. to still be able to, you know, journal and do all the good things that people say you should do before, you know, at 5 a.m. So I think being real and using these templates is a fantastic way to connect with people.
Yeah, they work really well. I started using them recently. I've been building out a new page. And it's funny. I just crossed like the 300 follower mark, and I'm starting to like, cause I do more meme stuff, but I'm integrating the templates now every like couple posts. Like now those are starting to spike with likes, and they're trending with certain hashtag use, which is, you know, part of the process as well for faster growth. But it's like it's funny because you know, seeing it in action is crazy. You know what I mean? I mean, I see it on Kathy's pages as well because we have like personality type pages. But she's like thousands of followers ahead of my page. So I'm just still trying to build attraction, but now it's like getting like 30 to 50 followers a day, 500 like posts. And I'm thinking, wow, hey, these things work. It's just positioning, strategy, hashtags, and also your content should look sexy. I find these people who say like, oh, just post everything like every 5 hours or sorry, just every 2 hours, make a post. And then it doesn't matter how it looks. I'm like thinking, your audience kind of has like a taste. So you want to have good looking content so they come to you, you know, and the brand's so important. So that's why the templates are so easy to use. Just plug and play. Put your stuff in, your colors, fonts, brands, logo, download it all, post it, and then watch the magic happen over time.
It literally is like that.
Yeah, it is.
So what legacy are you guys, well, you by yourself trying to create and leave in the online space?
I mean, I've been in so many different spaces right now. I think I'm always going to be like a health junkie in my personal life. So I'm always trying to, eventually I want to create my own company with health and inspire. But for what we're doing now, I used to always create templates and do video editing, obviously, and web backend, all this creation for customers and clients and coaches, consultants, everything, right? Speakers, all that jazz. I want to actually have like a software business. I want to have like something big where this can grow into just creating like a huge dent in the industry. Because I look at like the Canva model. Canva's worth like $3.2 billion. I found that out, and I'm like, wow, they have great software, but like there's so much that can be improved. Like their mobile app doesn't work properly. You can't even use our templates on them. You can't import them. It's weird. You have to use Google Chrome to log into Canva. And that's nothing against the company, but it's just things to know. You see this and you're like thinking, wow, they're evaluating, it's $3 billion and that's still not working. That's crazy. So for me, there's a big hole in this industry for what we're creating. And I had this, like, I don't know what it's called. Spiritual folks call it downloads. I call it your crown chakras just activated and you're somehow talking to some alien, whatever. But let's be honest here. The brain was working one day and I was like, I want to create a software for our business and I want to have a bunch of memberships and I want to have all this recurring passive income and help people understand content, because I used to make it for people and they loved it and they sucked at it. And I want to make it easy so people can actually realize, wow, I can create things. I don't have to like outsource all the time, or I can outsource and give them this and they can just do it for me in seconds. I want to teach people that they can actually build a business that works for them and have content that sells, because that's how the world's changing. Yeah. And, you know, for legacy, I mean, I'm still learning about that myself, to be honest. I mean, this is the first, I'll say, business that's actually gone really far, you know, and being with Katya, I'll be honest, you know, she's in business. She has been doing this for years. She started the same year I started doing my health and fitness business back in 2015. So it's like having someone in your life who also is into business and has almost a similar kind of grasp of knowledge and can do, can fill one certain area while I fill the other. Like she's like front end sales marketing, starter type. I'm more back end finishing type, tech, facilitating the team. I think some couples have that, but usually couples have different directions. So this is like, I'm still learning about what the legacy looks like. Like I want us to have a great brand, great product, and just a great community, because that's what it's all about. If the community is great and everyone vibes and there's love and there's peace and there's happiness, and that's what I want to leave. I want people to actually have success, because, you know, for a long time, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And, you know, typical school and college route, it's not enough time for someone like me. I need to think on it. So I want to help people like that. I want to help everyone learn how to just build something that actually is going to impact their own life and help others. That's my legacy personally.
Yeah, well, I can tell you what, you guys are definitely doing that. I'm a proud 20K Nation member. I also have been an affiliate selling the viral templates. I can't speak highly enough of them. They're amazing. But the one thing that is super, super cool is, you know, Katya is always very good at communication and, you know, popping up and remembering everyone's names and stuff and what you're up to. But the one thing that really, how do I say it? I guess it just feels like home every time I come back to one of your online communities. I don't feel like I need to apologize that I haven't been there for a week, or, you know, when you come to around to a friend's house, you take your shoes off, you kick them off at the door, and you come and you sit down on the couch and they haven't even invited you inside. That's what it feels like coming into your Facebook groups. It's like I can come in, ask a question, help someone else, and jump on a call, and it's totally fine, you know, and you guys are there to help every single time. It's awesome. And really creatively as well. Like once you guys are inside one of your paid communities, there's no curtains whatsoever, you know, like Katya's like screen sharing what all your sales are for the launch and how much the affiliates brought in and how much you guys spent on ads. And I just think that that's fantastic. Lots and lots and lots of people wouldn't share that, and you guys are just open book, which means that we can all learn, and that means that is your legacy coming into fruition right now.
Exactly. And you know what? I'll touch, it's actually real. That's the other thing. Yeah. It's real time, you know, data. I think some people don't actually have the data to show, so that's why they shy away. You know, talk can be sometimes cheap. And I don't wish anything bad on people. I just hope they learn to do something the right way, and to be open about it. Don't be afraid to share. That's my point of view. You know, we've had people, you know, how many times, how many times have we found people trying to, I was worried about our business, like the template business, being copied. Hasn't happened. And I'm not saying that and like, knock on wood, all this stuff, but it's like people, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, the more open you are about things, don't be afraid for it to go away or be taken from you, because it won't. Because a lot of people will see that if you're being confident, strong, and respectful and just have boundaries, then other people are not going to overstep that. And that's kind of the point I'm saying. So I've learned to step back a bit and just watch and give and provide and, show what's actually happening. And people value that and respect it. And, I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. So how can people get in touch with you, follow you, see what goes in your smoothies?
I made a really good smoothie today, actually. I started using bee pollen. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tasted way better.
Well, I got my cup.
Ooh, is that smoothie?
No, it's bee pollen though, in
Really?
lemon juice and Manuka honey.
Oh yeah, Manuka honey. Yeah, because I learned, I don't know why I didn't learn this now. I mean, I've just been going back to honey products for like vitamins and everything, and B vitamins. It's just way better than taking the capsules. It's just never take all vitamins. In touch with me, sidetracking, Instagram at Jamie Noodleman. You can follow Smoothie and Conspiracy and weird talks there. I was talking about shoes yesterday. I was talking about how like most shoes are not designed right. It's crazy. And then honestly, the only plug I'll give is the viralcontenttemplates.com.
Yeah.
That's it. So viralcontenttemplates.com. Done.
Right. And we will put the links to those in the show notes. I don't know if you guys have a gift, or should they just go and buy the viral content templates? I mean,
we have a gift, like a freebie opt-in.
Yeah.
I would have said the sample pack, but we turned that off. Uh-oh.
Just go and get the viral templates, guys. Seriously.
It's $29. There you go.
$29 and you get 100 of them, right?
Mm-hmm. 50 swipes, 50 templates.
Easy. So good.
Exactly.
It'll change your life. There's 90 days worth of content right there. Well, 100 days.
Right. It's so easy. And I mean, I naturally just sell it naturally just by talking about it. But the real thing, by the way, is just to make the point clear, I just find it amazing how people can just, it's like when you stare at a blank canvas or you have to write something, you get like writer's block. It's the same thing.
Yeah. 100%.
It just saves you time. You just look at it, you're like, because when you see it, you're like, I can connect with that. I can visualize. Bang. All I have to do is put text and colors in. Whoa, that was easy.
Yeah.
That's the point.
It literally is so easy. Like hours and hours become minutes and minutes. It's great. It's fantastic.
Exactly.
So we'll put a link to that in the show notes. And the last soundbite that I always end with is, what is your favorite one-liner to give yourself a pep talk to get momentum in your business each day?
Momentum. I think for me, I don't know if I have a one-liner. This is what makes me weird. I think for me, it's about, recently it's been just get up and move. Yep. Get up and move. Because if you sit there lying down, you're not going to want to move. You want to go back to sleep. So I like to get up and move. That's my recent thing. It's random, but just get up and start your day. Make a smoothie. That's what I've been doing. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Love it. Because it's very simple, but a lot of people will lie in bed all morning thinking about what they should be doing, when really you could just get up and move and get going. Exactly. That's like the magic. It's the magic way. Exactly. Hey, thanks so much. I mean, we could have talked for hours and hours and hours about all the different things that you can do to make yourself a healthier body in a faster growing business. But the insights that you have given us today have been amazing. So hopefully you guys have all loved it. Make sure that you check out all the show notes. Go and follow him on Instagram. Go and get your viral content templates. Why do I always say it around the wrong way? Anyway. You're excited about it. I always do. Even when I type it out, I always say it around the wrong way. Anyway. Maybe you could get that URL for people who get it wrong. Maybe. Yeah. I can get like 10 different versions and then just redirect it. Yeah. Hey, that works too. Definitely. Find one with a typo. That's the way. Yeah, exactly. Hey, well, thanks so much for joining us, and we will chat to you later. Thanks. Yep. Wow, what an amazing episode. Thanks for tuning in. And if you loved the woo with the do and want to dive deeper into how you too can get and keep momentum in your business, then please join us at pennyelliottgroup.com/consistent clients for the live training this month. It's going to be super juicy, as I'm giving you access to the only 3 daily habits and mindset tweaks you need to have
consistent clients in your business forevermore. Come and join us.